Today, we're diving into something called the stress cycle. And the big question is your job actually affecting your period? A new study is digging into this connection, and what they found is something they're calling a vicious cycle.
I mean, seriously, have you ever wondered this? You're having a super tough week at work. The pressure is on, deadlines are looming, and then your period shows up, and it just feels 1,000 times worse than usual. Is that just a coincidence? Or is there something more going on here? Well, that gut feeling you have, that intuition that your work life and your body are absolutely connected, it turns out it's not just in your head. Researchers are starting to confirm this, and it's this very real connection that creates that vicious cycle we were talking about.
Okay, so what does this vicious cycle actually look like? Well, think of it as a two-way street, or maybe a feedback loop, where your job stress and your physical symptoms just keep making each other worse. So it starts with high job stress. You know what I mean? Impossible deadlines, a heavy workload, a really demanding environment. This study found that all that pressure can lead directly to more severe menstrual symptoms. We're talking more intense cramps, serious fatigue, just feeling awful in general.
But here's the real kicker. It doesn't stop there. Now you're trying to do your job while dealing with those ramped up symptoms. Suddenly, it's harder to focus. Your energy is completely drained, and the same old job demands feel totally overwhelming. So the symptoms end up fueling the very stress that might have made them worse to begin with.
So you might be asking, how exactly does this happen? Well, the researchers found a key mechanism, and this quote from their work nails it. They say, psychological distress serves as a bridge connecting high job demands to more severe menstruation-related symptoms. That word, bridge, is everything here.
So let's take a walk across that bridge and see how this whole thing works. Because it's not like stress just magically creates physical pain out of thin air. No, there's a really clear pathway. And this lays it out perfectly. It all starts with those stressful job demands. That pressure then causes psychological distress, which really just means it impacts your mood and your mental well-being. And that distress is what then acts on your body, leading to those more intense physical symptoms. Your mental state is the mediator, the bridge between your job and your body. Now, as with any good science, we have to do a reality check and talk about the limitations. And to their credit, the researchers are really upfront about what this study can and can't prove just yet.
So is this the final word on the topic? Not exactly. There's a catch, and it's a classic chicken and egg problem. Which one really came first, the stress or the symptoms?
Here's the deal. The study was cross-sectional. That just means it was based on a single survey that people filled out at one specific moment. That makes it really hard to prove what causes what. Did the job stress cause the bad period, or was someone already having a bad period and that made them report their job as being more stressful? Also, timing is everything. Someone surveyed the day before their period is going to report very different symptoms than someone surveyed a week later. But acknowledging these limits is how science moves forward. The researchers themselves laid out a roadmap for future studies. So instead of a single questionnaire, they suggest using daily symptom tracking, almost like a health diary. They also want to collect data as it happens and even bring in biological markers like hormone tests to get a much more objective, complete picture. Okay, so even with those limitations, why is this research so important? Because it completely shifts the conversation. It moves the focus onto the workplace itself and what it can do to help break this cycle.
And this right here is the core takeaway. It's such a simple but powerful idea. The health of employees and the health of a business aren't two separate things. They are totally intertwined. If you address one, you're going to have a huge impact on the other. And the study even suggests some really practical strategies for employers. Things like having more flexible work policies, giving people better access to health resources, and, this one's a big one, creating a culture where it's actually okay to have open conversations about menstrual health without any stigma. And the potential payoff here is huge. These aren't just nice-to-have perks. When companies actively work to break this stress symptom cycle, they can create a workplace that has both improved employee well-being and higher productivity. It's a genuine win-win. So we'll just leave you with this thought to chew on. We're always looking for these complex solutions to boost productivity. But what if one of the most effective strategies is staring us right in the face? What if focusing on employee health in all its forms is the most direct path to a workplace that is thriving, effective, and truly productive for everyone?